Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, July 31st races at Hastings. We do have 8 races on tap on the Sunday program. We, of course, race on the holiday Monday, August the 1st, with 9 races, 6 stakes races. Great weekend. If you're a thoroughbred racing fan, it's not better than this. And if you're like to wager a little, it's a great weekend for that, too.
Really
$69,000 pick, Sea to Sky Pick 6 carryover.
Which you'd have to think with a Sunday card, we're going to probably be hedging towards 80 by the time it's done.
Right.
And yeah, they put together 8 solid races on Sunday. And of course, BC Cup Day, one of the highlights of our calendar, as Mike mentioned, on the Monday card. As we said, 8 races on Sunday. Let's get right into them. The first race is, by the way, the Sea to Sky Pick 6 will kick off in the third race. We'll touch on that. But the first race is a straight $25,000 claimant event for older colts and geldings. 6 of them go 6.5 furlongs. Troy Taylor's got 2 in here. He looks like the 2 to beat. I went to the 1 Taylor's deal. He only had 2 works going in that last race. He had a very abbreviated work pattern, and the classy old 7-year-olds still only gets beat a half a length.
Right.
He ran into a tough Captain Jones who had got some confidence off a win, and he couldn't quite catch him. But the fact that he was, I felt kind of short, you know, Troy Taylor would admit that himself with only 2 works. Now he's got a race under his belt. He's come back with another solid work. Damn near got the bullet on July 24th. Worked at a minute flat, second best of 38. Richard Hamill takes a call as David Lopez is in Seattle running opportunistic for them in the Emeralds Derby. All systems go, I think, for Taylor's deal. Their other horse in here has to be respected too, Burnham. We were just talking 9 of his last starts. He's been in the money. Very good record here at Hastings. Coming off a very impressive win. For 16,000, this is not out of his comfort zone for 25. I got him in the second spot. And I threw Harold Barry's It's in Command in for third. Harold's barn's starting to heat up. And he's the only speed in here. He's the speed of the speed. He's got Jose Asensio aboard. He's in with a feather. He could carry him a ways. I went 1, 4, and 2.
Yeah, I flip-flopped the Troy Taylor runners. I went Burnham on top just because of post position. I think Taylor's deal might be compromised by an inside draw.
Yeah.
His inside, It's in Command will, get over and get the lead. Sedin or Burnham will be the one sitting second or third off of him, and Taylor's deal might be in the pocket, which
could get trapped.
Sometimes is the place to be, and sometimes it isn't. But I'm splitting hairs here. I went to Burnham. Pretty cool dude that's really taken a liking to Hastings. Moves to a new outfit. We'll see if he can continue his excellent form. But I think maybe he can defeat Taylor's deal. But those 2 look like the best on paper. The 3 Sedin has the ability to win. Perhaps coming back to a sprint might be what Sedin needs, so I'm going to put him in for third. But I can see him winning. Sedin has enough talent to win.
He does.
We'll see.
Sure.
Antonio Reyes rides for Hot Mark Cluche. 4-1-3 for me in the Sunday opener. On to race number 2, $4,000 fillies and mares and onwards. A 3 Lifetime going 6.5 furlongs. I ended up in the 3 Xenia. It was between Xenia and Jazz for me, the 3 and 4. Jazz might be the better horse, but I just see a lot of pace in here. Jazz is going to get perhaps pushed pretty hard by Cadeo and catching fire on the outside. And even Bullet, who's dropping in class, might flash some speed with blinkers back on. At least there's going to be an honest pace, and Xenia might, returning to a sprint after a successful route, might be able to get the job done. So I tried Xenia over Jazz, who is the best horse. Just got beat late last time, but, Zenita Rosé, but still ran a great race. And I put the 2-horse Bullet in for third on the class drop, 3-4-2.
I agree with you. I don't have much to add. I got Xenia on top of Jazz, but I would definitely have both and
definitely.
early doubles.
There's no standout in here.
The only difference I threw a Fleet Alice in the third spot. She just won a non-2 sprinting. Went long against much tougher mares, Mini Fridge and Stormstalker going long. Now she's back into a $4,000 event, and she's sprinting again. So I'm going to give her another nod for Dave Dahl. I went 3, 4, and 5 in the second. On the third, 3-year-old and up colts and geldings, non-winners of 3 Lifetime, going a mile on a 16th. This is where the Sea to Sky kicks off at this race, and we're just a hair under 70,000 in the pool. I went to the 6 Distillery. Been running very well for Rob Gilchrist since he claimed this 5-year-old son of Dixie Union. Gets beat 2 by Brother Duster. Last time couldn't quite catch Rosie's notice. Those races, the last 2 he's in, I think were tougher than this one. And I think it falls to Distillery. I think it's his race to lose. I put Casanova in the second spot. He's another one. Good second last time behind Wiley's Command, but I think the Distillery has been running the tougher versions of these races, and that's why I gave him the nod over Casanova, but he's definitely eligible to win this. And I threw Tucci in the third spot, just destroyed a non-2 $4,000 field. Now he takes a step up to the $8,000 level, and you have to have him in your ticket. I went Didn't even mark it down. 6-1-3. There we go.
Yeah, I agree. I have the same 3 horses. I think Distillery, if the 1 week back doesn't hurt him, is going to be awfully dangerous. Still, I agree with what you said about, it was a pretty tough race. Rosie's noticed. And it didn't. The race didn't set up well. The flow of the race wasn't great for Distillery, so he had to race 3 wide a lot of the race. And I just think this race will set up a little bit better for Distillery. Up at the 1, Casanova, as you mentioned, a good runner-up effort last time. Had to weave his way through the field on the stretch turn. Very unfortunate not to win, but Wiley's Command made a nice wide sweeping move and got the money. Casanova tried to weave his way through the field. And it's always easier if anyone's watched a bunch of races to know that when you're making the wide sweeping move, you keep momentum. When you're weaving through a field, it's hard to keep momentum up and close well. So Casanova was a better than look second last time. And Tucci, he can win it. He's a cool horse.
Eligible.
He moves to a new barn, but horse got a confidence boost with a win, and he is up in class lately. But he was battling with Shoe Schwab and Brother Duster in his 2 prior starts. I mean, he fits well in here. I went 6-1-3 in the 3rd. On to the 4th, the feature event of the day, an allowance, $25,000 race for the purse is $25,000 for 3-year-olds going a mile on the 16th. I ended up on the 6th, Dashing Dawn. Did lose to Crushing Candy last time, but I think the extra quarter mile might help Dashing Dawn and may hurt Crushing Candy. But I think both are head and shoulders above the balance of the field. I put the 3 Sunscape in the 3rd spot. I just think there might be a little bit of pace pressure in here, and this might play nicely into the hands of Sunscape, who does look like one that will sit back and make one late run. Richard Hamill, leading rider aboard, is a big plus as well. But I just see a bit of pace in here. Mr. Showbiz, Crushing Candy, Fear of the Cat wants to mirror the lead, Dashing Dawn. It just looks like a good opportunity for Sunscape, perhaps to get a piece of it. So I went 6-4-3.
I took a bit of a flyer in here. I went with Mr. Showbiz. He's proven that he can win at a mile, which nobody else in this field has. That's why I looked around and nobody's proven that they can run the distance except for Mr. Showbiz. Crushing Candy's going to go. Dashing Dawn's going to go, as you mentioned. Fear the Cat. I think he gets first shot at him, and that's what I like. So I'm taking a bit of a shot on this horse will be a bit of a price. Mr. Showbiz, Top Connections, Anita Bolton, and Antonio Reyes. So I went Mr. Showbiz on top of the obvious 2 horses. I got Crushing Candy in 2nd spot and Dashing Dawn in the third spot. Those are definitely the 2 best horses in the race. But are they going to compromise each other's chances?
Distance is the question.
I think so, and distance as well. If this was a sprint, it would be a different story. So I went 1-4-6 in the 4th. On to the 5th, Fillies and Mares, non-winners of 2, lifetime 4, claiming 4,000. Big field of 11 here. I went to the 4, Gilly Gilly. She's been knocking on the door for Craig McPherson. She won first out, come back with a good effort against a very well-meant Gilly Gilly. And then last time she runs 3rd, but she only gets beat 3/4 of a length. I think it's her turn. Dennis Arrojo running very well right now. Craig McPherson, another top outfit. So I went Gilly Gilly on top of Knock Knock for Hall of Fame trainer Alan May. Just broke her maiden last time. And she's another one that's been improving every time. So I don't mind Knock Knock. And in the 3rd spot, I put the 8 Zygo. Ran into a very tough non-winners of 2, 4,000 last time with Texas Alley Cat. So I'm going to give her another shot. She pressed the pace. Didn't have a great trip. She was wide. I'm going to go back to her. She was a short price last time. Don't let her get away at a big price. I went 4, 11, and 8.
This is one of those races where you can, pretty much tough. It's tough to hang your hat on one particular horse. It's a difficult handicapping assignment. There's a lot of speed in this race. Just look on paper: the 9, Angels Victory; the 10, Rocket Star; the 11, Knock Knock. There's going to be a solid. There's going to be a 22 flat pace in here, 22-1, and I struggled to find an off-the-pace horse, but I did notice that the 6-horse Sugar Cat got in a lot of trouble last time. Had no racing room for the last quarter mile, and checked in an uninspiring 6th, but I think there's more there, and there might be some good value with Sugar Cat. She did encounter trouble. Follow her back. I think it'd be a wise move. Put the 4-horse Gilly Gilly, who was the obvious horse to sit in behind the speed and probably get a great trip and win the money. Good run last time. Dennis Arrojo was riding her very well for Craig McPherson. And I put the 8-horse Zygo, who made an early wide move last time. I think Silvino Morales thought he could do anything with her and just let her run off down the backstretch 4 wide. I thought he was going to circle the field, but she come up pretty empty. But I think a better timed ride by Silvino, who's a very good rider, is riding great, will perhaps get the money. I went 6, 4, and 8, but you can make a case for a lot of them in here. I left out quite a few horses with chances, but I definitely like 6, 4, 8. In the 5th, on to the 6th race, maiden $4,000 fillies and mares, going 6.5 furlongs. I ended up on the class droppers. I ended up on the 9, Touch of Green. For Hall of Fame trainer Dave Forrester, this horse is dropping in class, running against much tougher company throughout this season. Anytime you get into these $4,000 races, I would rather take the horses that are dropping in class than the ones that are running 2nd and 3rd continuously in the $4,000 categories. So Touch of Green and the 4 Flaming Youth both, have terrible forms on them, but they've been running against very nice horses. So I think they're both very live in here. I put Touch of Green on top of Flaming Youth. I put the 1 horse Pacific Storm. I didn't know who to throw in for 3rd. I put Pacific Storm. I could have put anyone. Irish Clover, a Firster, Blues Be Gone. There's a lot of them. Joe Woodall. I mean, there's a lot of them had a lot of chances, but I went 7-4-1. Or 9-4-1.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. The 2 droppers seem to be the dangerous horses in here. Touch of Green and Flaming Youth. I went the same way. Touch of Green on top of Flaming Youth. But those would be the 2 I have in any tickets. Yeah. And I threw Mark Kluche's Irish Clover. She's been working good. Good gate work in 48 and 3, and then back in 47 and 1. She's a Rosberg out of a stakes-winning mare, Shelby Madison. The big question is, why is she in for 4,000? She's
not as gifted as her mom and dad were. But
I don't think so. But Mark likes a place where they can win, and that would be the other horse in here I give a shot to. I went 9, 4, and 6 in the 6th. On to the 7th, older horses for $62.50, going 6.5 furlongs. Field of 9. I landed on the 3 here, Nana's Buddy. I mean, he's Mr. Consistent. 5 starts so far this year at Hastings. He's won 4 and an unlucky 2nd. Just losing by a neck to step up for the money, just couldn't quite get there in time. There seems to be enough gas in here with some Milkamine Luke, Proxy Man, Teddy the Bear. There should be enough gas in here to set it up for him. So I like Nana's Buddy. Gabriel Asensio rides this horse perfectly. I put Proxy Man in the 2nd spot. He's the speed of the speed. And if Nana's Buddy can't quite get up there, I could see him carrying him a long way. And I threw Wiley's Command, who's on a roll right now. He's won 2 in a row. He won a 4 on 2. Then went up and beat a decent field at an 8 on 3, and now he's in for $62.50. But I don't mind Wiley's Command because he's on a roll, so I threw him in. 3, 4, 6 for me.
Yeah, I agree with the 3 Nana's Buddy. I mean, it's not a shock. This horse is live in this spot. Going to get a good pace to run that. Got some Milkamine Luke, Proxy Man, Spirit River. Then there's a lot of horses. Leo's in the house. There's a lot of horses that want to be up front early. So Nana's Buddy's going to get a great pace to run at. Put the 4 Proxy Man. I thought he fought off all challengers very well last time. Got nailed late by Ambidextrous Duke. I thought he did all the running. Ambidextrous Duke had the perfect trip, but Proxy Man was probably the better horse of the 2, but had to settle for 2nd. And I put the 7 Seeking Asylum in for 3rd. Struggled to find a 3rd horse. Whaley's Command sharp. Ambidextrous Duke's going great. Yeah. Milkamine Luke's coming off a nice win. Teddy the Bear's dropping back down. But I put Seeking Asylum, a newcomer for owner-trainer Rob Maben, and the horse that knows how to win races and hit the board. Yeah. He's worked well over the course. He's been freshened up after being at Golden Gate. I don't know how he's going to stack up in here, but I think generally horses that were running where he's been running at Golden Gate stack up well when running here for $62.50, so I'd give that one a shot. I went 3, 4, and 7. Didn't love a horse in there, but I think you need quite a few. 3, 4, 7 in race number 7. On to the 8th and final, $16,000 older horses going 6.5 furlongs. I ended up on the 3 Aditya. Goes without. I tried blinkers on last time. Going to take the blinkers off today. I thought ran a very good race last time, but didn't get the money. The 4 horse Mighty Fraser is always live, and the 1 Richter Red changing blinker. I went 3, 4, 1. Richter Red going in blinkers for the first time. I thought was interesting and might be a better horse than he looks like on paper. But he's had some tough trips from outside draws. Yeah. Richter Red. He's a better horse than his form shows. Don't give up on Richter Red if you're playing a pick 6 or a pick 4 or whatever wager you like to play. But don't give up on Richter Red. He's a cool horse. But I think Aditya is the best horse. And Richard Hamill will jump aboard. I went 3, 4, 1.
I got the same horses. I put Mighty Fraser on top. I just think he sets a good trip in here. There's a fair bit of gas, and he just ran 3rd behind Taylor Steele. I don't mind Mighty Fraser here. So I went with him. I got a ditch in the second spot, and I got Richard Red in the third spot. But those are interchangeable. Those would be the three I would
Right.
have. It's Finally Friday would get an honorable mention for sure. He could run back second.
Sir
time for
Barkley's
Harold
cool.
Harvey.
I don't mind Sir
Barkley's not a
Barkley
bad horse
getting out of the
either, yeah.
marathon, the starter
Starter
series.
series,
And he's a solid little horse too.
He tracks Dennis Rojo.
I wish there was a little less speed in the race, but yeah, he's a player.
Yeah.
It's a tough little race because I mean the problem is you have Richard Red off form. You have It's Finally Friday, subpar effort last time.
Yeah.
You have Aditya not in top form. Mighty Fraser not in top form. So you're having these horses that do have some
talent,
back class and the ability, but aren't in top form, and
They're not coming in here 1 and 3 straight
so
or
it
something like that.
makes them not as enticing.
Muddles the
but
race a little
it
bit.
does.
But that's why I went, 4, 3, and 1. I would have all those in my tickets, but honestly, in the ticket, I would even go deeper. 4, 3, and 1 for me in the nightcap. That'll do it for the Sunday, our analysis of the Sunday card. Up next on screen will be our picks. Mike, as always, you're up first.
Back in race number 1, I went to the 4-horse, Burnham, like the Troy Taylor Exactor, 4, 1, and 3. Race number 2, I went to the 3, Xenia, over the 4, Jazz. I think it's 3 and 4. I don't want to give up on Bullet either, the 2. I really think that horse could run well in the class drop. Race 3, I went to the 6, Distillery, over the 1, Casanova, and the 3, Tucci. The 4th race, number 6, Dashing Dawn, over Crushing Candy and Sunscape. 6, 4, 3 for me in the 4th. Race number 5, the 6, Sugar Cat. Really a muddled race. I went 6, 4, and 8. Race number 6, I went to the 9, Touch of Green, dropping in class. I went 9, 4, and 1. Race number 7, I went to the 3, Nana's Buddy, looking for her his fifth win of the season. 3, 4, 7 for me in the 7th. And then race number 8, went to the 3, Aditya, 3, 4, 1.
On to my picks, there we go. Back in the first, I went with the classy old horse, number 1, Taylor's Deal, over the 4 and the 2. In the second, I landed on the 3, Xenia, over the 4 and the 5. In the third, number 6, Distillery, over the 1 and the 3. In the fourth, I went to the 1, Mr. Showbiz, over the 4 and the 6. In the fifth, I went to the 4, Gilly Gilly, over the 11 and the 8. In the sixth, I went to the 9, Touch of Green, over the 4 and the 6. Seventh, number 3, Nana's Buddy, over the 4 and the 6. And the nightcap, I went to the 4, Mighty Fraser, looking for Troy Taylor bookends on the Sunday card, over the 3 and the 1.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicappers Corner. Once again, first post is 1:50 on the Sunday program. No racing Saturday, but we have simulcasting. You can come out to the Derby Bar and Grill here. Come out and watch some great simulcasting from Saratoga. It's a great time to watch simulcasting in Delmar.
Right there,
it's just perfect. Monmouth's got a big meet going on right now, and there's a lot of signature tracks that you can watch and wager on here at the Derby Bar and Grill or at Hastings Racecourse. But once again, Sunday's races do start at 1:50. Don't forget the holiday Monday, also 1:50. 9 races on tap for BC Cup. It's, what is it? 1995, 22nd edition of the BC Cup. Of course, showcasing the best BC breds we have in the province. Well, that'll do it once again for this edition of Handicappers Corner. Thanks to Drew. We'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.